right, so mine is Mother Teresa's National Prayer Breakfast speech. So what if you didn't have a birthday? I know what you're all thinking, like, what do you mean? I was born, obviously I'm going to have a day of birth. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, what if you were never born? Well, I was born on November 20th, 1994. Mother Teresa gave her National Prayer Breakfast speech on her abortion stance on February 3rd, 1994. I did a little math and figured out that February 3rd is right around the time of my conception. And if I was aborted, I wouldn't be here to give you this wonderful speech. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 points. 1, who is Mother Teresa? 2, what is the context of her speech? 3, what is the content? And 4, what impact did it have? So who was Mother Teresa? She was born on August 26, 1910, and baptized to the name Agnes Gongsa. And she went on a school trip when she was 12 years old, and that's when she first felt the calling to a religious life. 6 years later, she became a nun at age 18 and joined the Sisters of Laredo in Dublin, Ireland. That is where she got her first name of Sister Mary Teresa. She took her final profession of vows to a life of poverty and obedience, which deemed her as a mother, which gave her the name Mother Teresa. She then experienced what she called a call within a call. And what happened was Christ came to her and told her to abandon all of her current teachings that she's doing in the slums of Calcutta to now aid the poorest and the sickest people. So that is exactly what she did. She began to devote her life to the sick and the poor. Her sudden call to help the sick and the poor showed how giving and loving she is, which is why she is against abortion. She believes abortion is a destroyer of peace. Which brings me to this point, is what is the context of the speech? So in 1992, Bill Clinton was elected and Al Gore was the vice president, and they were for abortion. And Bill Clinton says, I believe the decision on abortion should be the woman's, not the government's decision. Well, this is what brings us to the National Prayer Breakfast speech. The National Prayer Breakfast occurs on the first Thursday of every February, every year, in Washington, D.C. And as part of the event, the speakers are invited to share encouraging words of faith, which is exactly what Mother Teresa did. She was a keynote speaker in the 1994 National Prayer Breakfast. Which this leads me to my third point of what was the content of the speech. So the speech was, I feel like, was inspired by her own love. She loves everyone. Obviously, she gave up her life to devote herself to the sick and the poor. She quotes a lot of scripture from the Bible, a lot of quotes straight from Jesus in her speech, and I think that kind of helps her with her credibility a little bit. She's hidden. So look at this picture. She's kind of short, and so, like myself, and she's hidden behind the microphones the entire speech, which is exactly what we're not supposed to do, like stand behind the podium and be all scared. But I think her words were so powerful that it didn't even matter that she was standing behind there, that everyone heard, and her words were that powerful. Her entire speech was a good reflection of her compassion and her own personality, because it was calm and smooth the entire 40-minute speech. All right. So this was one of my favorite parts of the speech. The greatest destroyer of peace today is abortion, because Jesus said, if you receive a little child, you receive me. So every abortion is the denial of receiving Jesus, the neglect of receiving Jesus. So her speech reflected who she was, which brings me to my final point about the impact it made. She had a roaring audience when she was finished, with a round of applause, standing ovation, all that, except for President Clinton and Al Gore and their wives. They were all kind of a bit comfortable with the situation, like, I don't know what to do, because she just basically told them off. And then she won a Congressional Gold Medal 2 years after giving this speech, 3 years after giving the speech, and soon died thereafter. She had tons of positive feedback from the National Right to Live Committee president, She said she will be remembered for her words and work on behalf of the world's unborn children. And the Association of Evangelicals official, he said, after attending the breakfast, it was as bold a prophetic confrontation as I have ever witnessed. So now that you know all about the facts, let's put it all together. So Mother Teresa spread her love by helping the poor and the sick. The context of her speech was at the National Prayer Breakfast in 1994. Her content, she was really calm and smooth through the whole speech, and it showed her reflection of compassion that she shows towards others. And the impact is she got tons of positive feedback and won a Congressional Gold Medal. And she says, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love.